Hi, Toastmaster Tosin.
Yep, good to go.
Yep.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. It's a pleasure to be at this meeting. I'm sure you can tell it's going to be a wonderful and interesting meeting already. I mean, how many meetings do you go to where you're welcomed with nice graphics and beautiful music? I don't think there's a lot. So that tells you something. You're at the right place. So welcome once again to Pecten Toastmasters Club. And today, the theme of the meeting is Shoshin. Shoshin. It's quite an interesting word. I wonder how many people have heard of that before today. Definitely not me. I was just learning a Japanese concept, Ikigai, recently, not knowing that Pecten was bringing another one my way so soon. But thank you, Pecten Toastmasters Club. Well, without much ado, once again, welcome. And I would like to welcome our VPE, who would lead us through the Toastmasters Promise and the Toastmasters Mission. Toastmaster Olem.
Okay. Good evening, Toastmasters, guests, intending Toastmasters, friends, family, because I told everybody to invite everybody that they know. Good evening, everyone, and it's great to have you on the call today. It's our virtual open house, and it's the first time we're doing this at Pecten Toastmasters, so we're very excited to kick off the meeting. As is our tradition, we would take the Toastmasters promise, and I will just start by reading it. So please, if your mic is on, mute it and just read from your end. I will start now. As a member of Toastmasters International and my club, I promise to attend club meetings regularly, to prepare all of my projects to the best of my ability, basing them on the Toastmasters education program, to prepare for and fulfill meeting assignments, to provide fellow members with helpful, constructive evaluations, to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow, to serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so, to treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy, to bring guests to club meetings so they can see the benefits Toastmasters membership offers, to adhere to the guidelines and rules for all Toastmasters educational and recognition programs. And finally, to act within Toastmasters' core values of integrity, respect, service, excellence all our conducts, during all our conducts of Toastmasters activities. Yes. So help us God. I should hear that from the other side. And now to Pecten's mission as a club. Our mission as a club is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every member has the opportunity to develop oral communication and leadership skills, which in turn fosters self confidence and personal growth. With that said, I would like to state a few housekeeping rules for today's meeting. So if you're on the call today, please, if you're not speaking, stay muted. We're going to have a lot of people join the call, so we don't want interruptions, maybe when someone is giving a speech or speaking irrespective at the lectern. If you must take a call, please let's not hear it. Thank you. When you come on the lectern or you come off mute to speak, please do so respectfully. We all come from diverse environments and backgrounds. And so let's just show one another some sign of respect. Now, the very important part of what I'm about to say is it's a meeting. We need the chat room to be buzzing. Reactions, engagements, whatever it is that you know how to do. When we ask for feedback, please give it us in the chat box. We need a lot of engagement because this meeting was designed for your delight and pleasure. And with that said, I would say thank you once again for showing up at our meeting. 29 already, and we're just 4 minutes in. It's just really fantastic to see. And now I will call to the virtual lectern, the president of Pecten Toastmasters Club, for our opening remarks in the person of Toastmaster Ekwuchi Joy James. Please give her a warm round of applause, or a virtual one, as the case may be.
Thank you, virtual, whatever it is, I'm here for it. Thank you so much, the Madam Vice President Education, also doubling as the Sergeant at Arms. Oh, another meeting. If you're consistent with our meetings, you'll be able to tell that every meeting day is a happy day for me. I'm always so excited, even if I've had the craziest day, I've had the most stressful day, I'm not in a great mood. Once the meeting starts, it's like drugs. I just come alive and it cannot hide. Today is another day to be happy. The day that the Lord has made, to rejoice and be glad in it. Welcome to Pecten Toastmasters meeting. My name is Ekwuchi Joy James, and I am the president of this amazing club. Our team today, who first of all, before I continue, who felt a certain way, or who raised their eyebrows, or who had some form of wonder or any form of reaction when they first saw the theme? Be honest. This is a no judging zone. Tell me, just yes, what I feel. I know I had a reaction. Yes, busy me, no calls, please. This is a name, like the exciting name in the chat box. This person said, I did. Honestly, I did. When we were discussing the theme, and I said to Master Olem, this could be interesting. We'll have a lot of fun with this theme. Indeed, we are. Shoshin. It's from a Japanese word that basically just tells us about the beginner's mindset and the beginner's mind. It refers to having an attitude of openness and eagerness for whatever you encounter in life, along with a willingness to set aside preconceptions and expectations. In layman's terms, Shoshin means to be open at heart, to have a mind of openness, to have a beginner's mindset. It was Suzuki, a Zen priest, who said, in the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities. In the expert's mind, there are a few. I'm sure a lot of us have been, will I call it traumatized by being a beginner? When you hear beginner or things like data analysis for dummies or for beginners, anything beginner, there's a stereotype to it. There's a stigma to it. It kind of feels like that person is not as smart or is dumb or is slow. I've come to learn from a few years that I've been on this earth that being a beginner, if anything, it's a huge opportunity to learn more. I'm always a beginner, even in things that I've done for years. I like to think that there's always something to learn. And if you go through life with that kind of mentality, I can tell you for a fact that you'll never be stagnant. You will always have reasons to improve yourself. You always have reasons to keep growing. With that being said, I want you to sit back, relax, and you learn something from today's meeting. We have a lot of guests on this call, and that makes me particularly excited. And I'm very excited for our guests to learn something. So, shushing your way into this meeting. Gamarian, please, I don't know. Please, this is not the beginning of the meeting yet, so I can get to with that. Right? Without further ado, I'd like to call on someone who will be taking control of this meeting while I go to the back seat. That would be the Toastmaster of the day. The Toastmaster of the day is Toastmaster Uche Anabaronye. This is a very familiar face to this club, someone we particularly like. I particularly like. We work together a lot. He is a problem-solving engineer. As you can see, a member of this club and Seashell Club. You have to be an Odogu to be a member of two clubs. He completed the Persuasive Influence path. He loves to read, travel, and discover new things. And he loves this quote by Mandy Hale that says, all we get is time and choice. Be wise with both. I love it. Toastmaster Uche Anabaronye, please come on the virtual lectern and do what you do best. Over to you.
All right, thank you. I wouldn't come unless I see virtual round, a good virtual round of applause. Can you hear me? I can only see Olem.
You're muted now.
You're muted, Uche.
Oh, you can't even hear me. Oh, really? Okay. I would
Now we
have
can.
to. Can you hear me now? Am I audible?
Loud and clear, and we can
Loud and
see you
clear.
too.
Loud and clear.
Yes, and what I said was I wasn't going to get on this virtual lecture unless I heard a round of applause. I can only see. I can't hear. I saw Essay clapping, but I can't hear it. Toastmaster Olem, I need to. Okay, I can hear it. Thank you for giving me Shoshin-tastic round of applause. And I'm really glad to be here to be the Toastmaster of the day for today's open house. I really like to.
We
You're
can't hear
muted
you.
again.
We can't hear
Oh,
you.
you can't hear me,
I
right?
think there's something
Can
wrong
hear
with
you
your
now.
audio. Yeah.
Okay, let me fix it.
Now
Yeah.
we can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me now. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I said I'm really glad to be in today's meeting and a big congratulations
You've gone off again.
off again. Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna try something different now. Just hang. All right. Can you hear me now? My clearer?
Yes, it is. It's good.
It's better.
Go ahead.
Okay. So it's gonna be interesting. All right. Uh, try to make it. All right. So I'm saying I'm really glad to be here today to be your Toastmaster of the day for today's meeting. And I'm saying a big congratulations to Pecten Toastmasters Club for being able to pull this together. And I'm sure that there are many other social incredible days to come for Pecten Toastmasters in the future. Yes, for today's meeting, there are a couple of things that would happen. And I would want to begin by telling people who are just joining today for the first time in Pecten Toastmasters the idea of Toastmasters. Now, I would like you to please in the chat box if you're an experienced Toastmasters, how many years Toastmasters has been around? How many years in the Toastmasters? I'll just be looking in the chat box to see. Yes, any idea how many years Toastmasters has been around? I want to see 100 years, Toastmaster Reuben, BPM, Toastmaster Linus, 100 years, 100, you can just see 100 years, no brainer, 100 years. All right, so another pop-up question would then be, when was Toastmasters first established? What was the year? What year? It's 100 years, so you can do a quick math. What year was that? 1924, 1924. Fantastic. You can see it's popping in the chat box. How about the founder of Toastmasters? Do you know his name? If you could put his name right there in the chat
Oh,
box.
that one is a hard
For people
question.
who, Ralph Smedley, fantastic. Ralph Smedley, Eseoghene. So you can see Toastmasters has been around for more than 100 years. In 1924, that was when it was established. In fact, Toastmaster Christian Egwonu has given us the full name that we have. We have Ralph Christopher Smedley is the founder of Toastmasters. And one of the things that he tried to do when he began was to make sure that people had the opportunity to be able to speak better, have public speaking skills and leadership skills. And I try to put it in a couple of words or acronyms for us to remember. I like to say that Toastmasters helps you speak. Toastmasters help you speak. S is for, it gives you a supportive community. P is, it builds your public speaking skills. E is, it empowers you with confidence that you can use in other parts of your life. It also, A is for active learning. It gives you opportunity to be able to actively learn by listening and also doing. And the fifth one is K, knowledge sharing. So Toastmasters helps you speak, supportive community, public speaking, and empowerment and active learning, and then sharing, knowledge sharing. So it's my pleasure to be your Toastmaster of the day. As we go on, I'll speak a little bit about Shoshin, maybe not now, I'll give you a few stories as we go down. But for today's meeting, I am not the person who has the most burden. The person who has the most burden is the general evaluator for today. And I would like to introduce him. Once I see his bio, I will call upon him to take us through the rest of the meeting. Our general evaluator is none other than Toastmaster Nameti Akpan. Toastmaster Nameti Akpan. He is an accountant. He is from Uyo Premier Speakers, Kuwait. Interesting. Kuwait Challengers Toastmasters Club. So he belongs to two Toastmasters Club, and his pathway is engaging humor. His hobbies are playing snooker, listening to classical music, and reading spiritual literature. His favorite quote is, "The bird does not sing, because it needs an answer. It sings because it has a song, and that is a Chinese proverb. So ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters and guests, if your hands are not too busy, I would like you to put them together for Toastmaster Nameti Akpan. Put your hands together for him as he comes on stage.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day.
Toastmaster Nameti Akpan, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
That's finished.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Absolutely great. So it's a blithesome experience for me to come to Pecten Toastmasters Club today. And Toastmaster Uche, I'd love to say that you have already made my ability to Shoshin into this meeting effortless because of how you went through the beginning part of the meeting. And trust me, my yoke is easy and my burden is light because I am in Pecten Toastmasters Club. I'm just here to have fun. Distinguished Toastmasters and guests, as a general evaluator for this meeting, my job would be to give us feedback. And what is feedback? Feedback is like a mirror. It shows you everything you can see and sometimes the things you cannot see when you come in front of the mirror. So I'm going to act like a reflection, a mirror reflection of this meeting, and help us see those beautiful parts of the meeting and maybe those spots that we can literally make better if we work on. I won't be working alone. I have a fantastic team that will be working with me. And the first member of the team is the grammarian, a lady I hold in high esteem just because of her quote. And you'd soon get to know why that quote matters a lot to me, because we're talking about having an open mind and a beginner's mind today. So our grammarian for this meeting will be Toastmaster Eseoghene Okereka. She is an environmental sustainability consultant, and she is on the strategic relationships path. She's a past president of Pecten Toastmasters Club, a writer. Her hobbies include reading romantic fiction, exploring museums and markets, nature hiking, and eating free, delicious food. The first day I met her, she said she loves money. I don't know if she has changed her mind, but her favorite quote is, examine the labels you apply to yourself. Every label is a boundary or limit you will not let yourself cross. That's the quote that always gets me. Over to you, Toastmaster Ese, our grammarian.
Thank you so much, our general evaluator, and hello, everyone. I still like money. I just noticed more people in Toastmasters tend to give me food than money, so I had to choose one message. It is so delightful to be here today, to be serving as the grammarian, and my role is to pay attention to all speakers, how we use our words. I would listen for both proper and improper usage. I would also take notes of outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts that I enjoy. As grammarian, it is also my role to introduce the word of the day. And for today's meeting, the word of the day is blithesome. Blithesome. And it means of a person to have a cheerful disposition, being lighthearted, happy, and carefree. An example, Dare is a blithesome person who never seems sad or angry. Toastmaster Funke has a blithesome nature. A third example, Tinubu seems blithesome about what is happening in Nigeria. Common synonyms are upbeat, cheerful, jovial, and merry. I would encourage us to use the word of the day, and at the end of the meeting, I will come back to give my report on how well we used the word of the day and how we used our grammar and expressions in today's meeting. Thank you, and it's back to you, our general evaluator.
Toastmaster Ese, it was quite blithesome that you had to bring in our number one personality in the country into this Toastmasters meeting in a blithesome manner. I mean, with all the glory. Thank you so much for introducing the word of the day. Our next role player will be the R counter. And who is going to be our R counter today? He's someone that I met immediately I joined the call, and he was already waiting. I love that precision. He's actually an engineer and a past, I wanted to say past president, but I mean, I'm looking into the past or the future. Someone that has been in Tutors and Trainers Toastmasters Club. Kindly help me. Okay. Do I need to introduce the type? Okay, thank you. All right, so his hobbies include reading, traveling, and exploring new places and opportunities. He's a member of Tutors and Trainers Toastmasters Club, and he's on the presentation mastery path. His favorite quote is, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." And I heard this quote yesterday in our own Toastmasters meeting again. That's quite blithesome. Please take it away, our counter, Toastmaster Christian Oghoin-olem, and tell us about your role.
Thank you very kindly, Mr. General Evaluator. When we speak in public, there is sometimes pressure to come up with the right words to say. And as a speaker, we are tempted to use inappropriate expressions such as, you know, because, this, in place of silence to fill up the space. These overused words or sounds add no meaning to our speech, but rather they distract the audience and make our presentation less blithesome. As the R counter for today, my job is to help us become more aware of these pause fillers and to help us in eliminating them in our speeches. I will listen throughout the entire meeting and then give feedback to the speakers on those specific crutch words or pause fillers they said during the meeting so that they can consider working on them and give a blithesome presentation in the future. And that is it for me. And back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Pastor Christian. I love your cap. I love how you wore it. And I just hope that it brings just much more to this meeting. Distinguished Toastmasters and guests, our last but not the least member of the tag team will be our timer. In Toastmasters, we pay attention to very critical elements of planning and execution. And so this beautiful lady, who is a dental surgeon, a member of Pecten Toastmasters Club, is on the presentation mastery path. She loves playing golf, Netflix, and chill. Hobbies, just very powerful. And her favorite quote is, "You define your own life. Don't let other people write your script." Quote by Oprah Winfrey. Our timer today is Toastmaster Ireju Ajay. Toastmaster Ireju, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As the timer for the day, my role is simple. My role is to time the table topic speakers and the prepared speeches, and also time the evaluations. I would alert each speaker of time they had used left using the green card. I would use the green card, the yellow card, and the red card, and each has specific meanings. For the table topic speakers, they shall be limited to not more than 2 minutes. And at the 1 minute mark, I will change my background to the green card. And at the 1 minute 30 seconds mark, I will change it to the yellow card. And at 2 minutes, I will put up the red card. For the prepared speech, it shall be 5 to 7 minutes. And at the 5 minute mark, I will change my background to the green card. And at 6 minutes, I will change it to the yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I will change it to the red card. Please keep to your time, because at 7 minutes, 31 seconds, your speech will be disqualified. For individual evaluations, it shall not be more than 2 to 3 minutes. And at the 2-minute mark, I will change my background to the green card. At 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I will change my background to the yellow. And at the 3-minute mark, I'll put up the red card. That will be my role for today. And I shall return at the end of the day to give my report when called upon. And it's back to you, Mr. General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you so much. There you go. We have it. The tag team, blithesomely presented to you by the General Evaluator. Distinguished Toastmasters and guests, let us segue into the next portion of this meeting as I invite our very warm Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Uche. Please take it away.
Thank you. Blithesome Toastmaster Nameti, Akpan. I could see your cheerfulness. It is so evident. It is radiant. We can all feel that warmth and blithesomeness that comes from your smile and the way you've taken that initial part of the job you begin today. Thank you so much. We'll be moving on to the rest of the meeting, and the next part of the meeting would be the first course of the meeting. Every Toastmasters meeting is divided into 3 courses. You have the first course. Some people give the very heavy meal, amala and ewedu, or sometimes gari and soup first, which would be the speech session. Some people give a starter first, which could be like a table topics, and you get to understand that in a bit. However, the next session will be the first course. But before we go into the first course, I'd like to give you a few fun facts about Toastmasters, and I'll be dropping a few of them here. I understand that this is a meeting where we may have a lot of visitors, so I'd like you to understand a little bit more about Toastmasters. I would ask in the chat box, can anybody tell us how many members Toastmasters has globally? How many members does Toastmasters have? And I'll be monitoring the chat box to see. Can you just type in the chat box how many members does Toastmasters have? Do you want to hazard a guess? Do you want to? Can anybody? I'm sure some people are very busy on Google or something, but tell me, how many members do you think Toastmasters has globally? Nobody can hazard a guess. Now, there's some numbers that I have here, and I see that Toastmasters has 357,000 members globally. They have around 16,600 clubs, and they're present in 143 countries. Can you imagine that? Toastmasters is everywhere. 143 countries. That's bigger than many companies, even the company I work for, I believe. Now, I would like to ask again, can anybody hazard, or maybe, yes, a guess about some of the superstars who are current Toastmasters or who have been Toastmasters in their lifetime? Do you want to hazard a guess? Anybody? Do you want to just hazard a guess of some superstars? I know Toastmaster SA believes she's a superstar, so don't put her name there. Just look for somebody else who you know that is a superstar or a notable person that is or was a Toastmaster. Anybody? In the chat box. Reuben, you can type in, let's see who you think was. You can hazard a guess. I want to see. Chat box is not buzzing. What's going on? Anybody? Okay, I can see that someone has put a name there. Harrison Ford. Okay. Olem. Oh, Chief Robbins. I know. Olem is a superstar. She's a Toastmaster. I agree with you. Julia Roberts, Toastmaster Tosin, you're very correct, Julia Roberts. And if you know her, she's an actress. I think she was a Toastmaster. Okay, all right. So what I'm trying to say is that Toastmasters International is a club that has a global reach and has a lot of members who are notable and also very influential. So why don't you join us today and become part of this global reach and get the full benefits of Toastmasters? The next part of this meeting will be handled by me, yes, of course, but I will be introducing the evaluator for the speaker who would be gracing the virtual lectern. And if you can get his bio, I will just introduce the evaluator. All right. The evaluator for the next speech is Toastmaster Reuben Uzor. Toastmaster Reuben Uzor is an electrical engineer. His club is Surulere Toastmasters Club. He's on the dynamic leadership pathway. His hobbies include meeting people, playing chess, watching movies with interesting dialogue, and his favorite quote is, "Life is a game, play it, enjoy it." Toastmaster Reuben, please come up to the virtual lectern and introduce our next speaker. A round of applause for him, please.
Thank you so much, our ebullient and blithesome Toastmaster of the day. For our first speaker and only speaker, Toastmaster Eseoghene Okereka, she's going to give a speech from level 3, and this is one of the electives from there. She's supposed to try to inspire you, the audience. So if you haven't been inspired by how great and blithesome the meeting has been so far, sit down, relax. She has things in store for you. Afterwards, I would come to give an evaluation of her speech. But we have a twist today. Dear guests on the call, in this meeting, you will be open to give feedback on how she had spoken. And one way to do that would be to check for things that you think she did great and sandwich them in between, start them and tell her things she could do better, then sandwich that with also some form of praise or accolade. I would call us at random, get ready. It's going to be a fun session. After that, I'll give my evaluation. And now it's back to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
All right, thank you, Toastmaster Reuben. I will just introduce the speaker for today, if we see her bio. All right, our speaker for today is Toastmaster Eseoghene. Her speech title is 100 minutes later. And you can see her speech type is strategic. Her speech type is strategic relationship on level 3. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would welcome to the virtual lectern Toastmaster Eseoghene Okereka. 100 minutes later. 100 minutes later, Toastmaster Eseoghene Okereka.
Raise your hand if you've ever been in a situation where you were like, Jesus, please, nobody should call my name. I beg, I want to just live here. Nobody should just, I beg. Raise your hand. Okay, Chris has been in that situation. Toastmaster Reuben has been. Toastmaster Ireju has been. Toastmaster Tosin. Toastmaster Linus with 2 hands has been. Well, I have been in that situation. And one time, my first time of being in that situation that I vividly remember was my first Toastmasters meeting. They were calling people's name up and down. And in my head, I was just like, what kind of thing is this? There's no even food here. Please, I want to just live here. Why did Uche bring me here for this kind of thing? Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. I am Toastmaster Ese, and I am delighted to be talking to you about how Toastmasters has changed my life. You see that feeling of nobody should call my name? I had that feeling in Funke at my first Toastmasters meeting. When I look at my Toastmasters journey, there's so much about it that has been fun. There's been growth, there's been transformation, but there's also been so many milestones. And when I think of my journey of over 100 meetings, I am delighted to talk to you guys about it today. Toastmasters has shaped my life. And my very first Toastmaster meeting, I was invited by one of my team leads, Toastmaster Uche Anabaronye, who is currently playing as the Toastmaster of the day today. I remember judging everybody when I got to that meeting. All of you shaking hands. Everyone is explaining rules. What's all this paper you people are sharing? I was so critical. And then everyone is coming out to speak. And I'm like, okay, all of you know how to speak English. Why is everyone being all professional? Toastmasters and guests, I did not realize that that was also going to be me Sunday. I say this very happily. When I joined Toastmasters, or rather when I attended my first Toastmasters meeting, it was in September 2019. I am Nigerian. I was earning in Naira, and I was being told to come and pay money in dollars. So I was not even ready to put my money without understanding it. I ended up attending a Toastmaster, at least one Toastmaster meeting every month for the next 6 months before I officially joined in April of 2020. I wanted to be sure I was getting value for my money. I still remember the first time I had to give a speech, my icebreaker. Toastmasters and guests, I wrote and rewrote that speech at least 30 times. I would record myself and say, what is this? This is rubbish. You're only going to disgrace yourself. And then I'll be like, no need. Okay, let me claim that I'm having serious period cramps. Everybody will understand. Don't show up. There's no kind of way I did not think or consider. But after I was like, you know what? Just do it. And I did it and I got feedback. Even if I was so critical about it, I got so much positive feedback. And I also got suggestions on how to improve. You see, one of the things about Toastmasters is there is a quote by Serena Williams that talks about how practice makes progress. Serena Williams, the renowned tennis champion. And in Toastmasters, you really do get to see your progress because you would find yourself practicing. And do you know how you're practicing? Without even realizing it. Do you know how you have work, but you don't know you're working? The first time I realized Toastmasters has changed my life, I had gone swimming with some of my friends. And the receptionist was just having an attitude about pain and food. And my friend was like, Essie, please calm down. Don't start your madness here. And I was like, wait, what do you mean? And then I calmly had to explain, oh, you brought the card, we've paid. And do you know what, Toastmasters and guests? By the time we were on our way, my friend says, Essie, you've changed. You don't even have to be patient with somebody. Like, especially when you're hungry. I cannot believe you could calmly explain and understand and listen. I was waiting for you to be, your normal self and just show that you're a Benin girl that knows how to speak pidgin. But see you calmly speaking English. What is happening? And I smiled, I chuckled, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I've always been like this, so I do not know who is that person you're referring to. That was one of the times I realized that I was actually changing without realizing it. The second time, I had two friends who were running a podcast, and they were like, oh, Essie, come feature on our podcast. And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. I did not realize after that podcast, but I had another of my friends, Toastmaster Ezra, who is now a Toastmaster, send me a voice and say, Essie, what is happening? I thought you were a feminist who hated men, who hated people. Why am I listening to that podcast and you're giving opinions and you're being gracious? What is happening? Why have you changed? I was like, wait, what? Of course, I had to kill the offense, but what do you mean? And because I am a writer, which is when you're a writer, you sort of document everything happening in your life. I was looking at my journals of, when had I mentioned podcast in my notes before? And guess what? I saw that about a year ago, those same friends had actually asked me to do a podcast. And I had written a whole rant explaining why it did not make sense. I didn't want to disgrace myself. So to now see that in less than a year later, they asked me and I just said, oh yeah, sure. That is in someone calling on you to do something and you're like, sure, that is what Toastmasters does for you. So if I have to pick two things Toastmasters really does well, it's in how you talk to people, how you express yourself, how you give feedback, how you're patient in listening, and then how easily you say yes. It seems so funny now, but everyone tells me, oh, Essie, you're so fearless. You're always going to different places and entering everywhere. Well, in my head, I'm always like, nobody can beat me. The second one is, I'm sure that person, when they talk, they must have one or two filler words like so that means they are not the best communicators, so we are all learning together. You see, when those two things enter in my head, it means I can do anything. I have attended over 100 meetings in Toastmasters, and I did not even realize how well I was changing, how easily it was being for me to talk to people, to interact, to make money, because money is so important to me. And then because of how I'm now a better communicator, it means when I talk about my skills to people, when I introduce myself, I package myself well. And we all know that the packaging is what attracts everyone. So there is an excellence Toastmasters gives, because part of our core beliefs in Toastmasters is respect, integrity, service, and excellence. The more Toastmasters meetings you attend, the more excellence becomes a habit, just like the renowned philosopher Aristotle says. From joining Toastmasters, I got to make so many friends. I got to have so much fun. You see table topics, I got to participate in so many table topics and learn so many fun things, like the fact that Akwa-Ibom culture welcomes marriage offers with 8-course meals. That is something that I can never forget. If I ever decide I am marrying, I made that sole decision of marrying an Akwa-Ibom person just because of that thing I learned from Toastmasters. So you see in Toastmasters, there's so many things you learn. the fun ones, the ones that make you happy, the ones that stimulate your mental memory. So if you're considering joining Toastmasters, join for yourself. I would just advise you to attend meetings, whether you're listening, you're speaking, you're participating. Trust me, you're learning. There is an idea by Malcolm Gladwell in Outwards where he talks about the 10,000 hour rule, about how we just have to constantly practice to get better. In Toastmasters, you get the confidence, strategy, and patience to do better. What are you waiting for? You absolutely should come be a Toastmaster like me. Thank you.
Fantastic. Please put your hands together for her. I need to see virtual round of applause. If I need to hear for that fantastic speech. I can't hear anybody, and I see some people acting like they can't hear me. Toastmaster, who is this? Come on, put your hands together for her. Fantastic. Thank you, Toastmaster Essie, for that speech. I saw how you put my name somehow in your speech, but that's okay. No wahala. Thank you. If I were to re-christen or to rename your speech, I'll call it "Nobody Should Call My Name." That's what I would, if I were to be the one to title that speech, I would say "Nobody Should Call My Name." But indeed, calling your name eventually made you to become a better speaker. Somehow, I don't know why I read your speech, the title of your speech, as 100 minutes later. But it turns out that it's 100 meetings later. And I did a quick calculation. I joined Toastmasters in 2019. And if I'm to go by the rule book or by strictly by just attending Pecten meetings once bi-monthly, I should have attended up to 120 meetings. So I'd like us to do a small calculation. I would like to see in the chat box, how many Toastmasters meetings have you attended? How many? How many? You could do the calculation. If you attend one meeting or two meetings every month from when you joined it today, how many Toastmasters meetings have you attended? I would like to see that in the chat box. Fastest fingers. Now, there's something I didn't tell you about today's meeting. We're going to have some prizes given out to people. So you don't know what it is that I'm going to give a prize for. This may be one of them. So very quickly, tell me, how many meetings have you attended? Oh, okay. So SA has attended. She was attending Seychelles, Oil City, from 148 from Toastmaster side. Chidi, Linus, I need to see people. Come on, put on the chat box. Let's see how many meeting experiences we've had. I need people to put in the chat box. Myself, I've attended at least 120, 200 Toastmaster. As a grandfather came into this meeting. All right, Toastmaster Nameti Akpan has attended 148. Fantastic. 5 from Toastmaster Chris. Yes, the beginner's mind, of course, is starting 5, but I'm sure you're going to attend so many more. Toastmaster Lydia, 13 meetings. Fantastic. All right, so you can see that there's a lot of experience that you can see in the chat box, and many of these people could either become your mentors or coaches once you join Toastmasters. Toastmaster Gloria, we're very happy to have you here on the call today. As you can see, there are people like Toastmaster Antea who has had 200 meetings attended. There's a lot of wisdom to tap from. All right, great. The next part of this meeting is where we give feedback to the person who has spoken. Toastmaster SA has spoken so gloriously, so glowingly, with a lot of smiles on her face, but I'm sure there could be something that she would improve on. But in Toastmasters, we give people sandwiches when we want to evaluate them. We commend them, then we give them a bit of recommendation that would be in the middle of your sandwich. That's the filling of the sandwich, and then eventually we commend them again. So I'd like to get 2 people who would like to give her their feedback. This is before the main evaluator comes up. I'd like to see your hands up if you would like to give this evaluation. That's just before I call up Toastmaster Reuben Uzor to tell us how it's done. Anybody who would like to give a feedback, and this feedback should be in, say, 1 minute, a 1-minute feedback to Toastmaster SA. Anybody, you can raise your hand. I'm not sure I can see any hands raised. Or maybe I would hand over to Toastmaster Reuben. Would you be happy to take this portion of the meeting, Toastmaster Reuben?
Very happy to. Thank you so much. I wanted to dive in very happily. So let's see, dear Toastmasters and dear guests. At this point, we would like to receive feedback on her speech. What did you like? I saw some people smiling when food was mentioned. I don't know why that makes people smile. I don't know why. I don't like food, but if you give me, I will eat. So just ship them. I will send my address to all of us in the groups. But let's have feedback on how she spoke. And I would call people, one of the things we get better at while giving feedback is we get better at listening. And I had said before that we would have to speak on what she said. So I would like to call names in the room to save our time. Let's see, we have Grace in the room. Toastmaster Grace, are you a Toastmaster or a guest? If you're a guest, can you kindly indicate by raising your hand up? I had seen Joe before who raised his hand. Is he a guest or a member? I can also see Beulah Emefiena. If I'm correct, are you a guest or a member? Do you want to give us feedback about what you just heard? Do you want to speak to her, tell her what she did good, what she could have improved upon? I would like both
Emeka's hand is
guests.
up.
Emeka, you have the floor. I suggest you introduce yourself briefly, then give us feedback on what you just heard, what you liked, where she could improve. Go for it, Emeka. Go for it.
Oh, all right. Good evening,
Good
Toastmasters
evening.
and fellow guests. For the speech you just gave, I would like to say it was amazing. It's good how she started with a very good preamble to prepare our mind before the main speech, and how she started off by calling off Toastmasters, to usher us into the main speech. It's nice to see how she really owned up the speech, and it was very original. And yeah, I would say the gestures were great, and it was very blithesome. It was good to see how your speech also went through a form of a projectile path, starting off, slow and nice and hitting the peak, and then having that very good diminishing returns. I'd say, it was great. I wasn't really keen to pick out any um, bad parts or negative parts or part of improvement, but I mean, I was just carried away by that very beautiful speech. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Wait, Emeka, what's happening? I was supposed to evaluate her afterwards, and now you've taken everything I wanted to say. I'm now worried. I have to go and review. Thank you. That was so succinct. Are you a Toastmaster already? You speak so well, and you were very, very attentive. Are you a Toastmaster already, if I may ask? The
I'm a
next person,
guest.
you again. That means
Yeah.
you're in the right place. So you found your tribe essentially. That's amazing. That's amazing. Welcome. Well done. Do we have any other speakers? We have one more slot, just one more person who would have the gracious opportunity, the blithesome opportunity to speak about what they just heard. Any guests who are Hi Chief Tobians? Are you on the call? Do you get your mute and share? Let's go. Let's go. Clock is ticking. Clock is ticking. Toastmaster, intending Toastmaster Christy, are you available? Is there anyone brave enough to bell the cat? So it seems Emeka has scared us. If I was in the audience, I would actually be scared. Like, what am I saying after he said that? Do we have anyone else? Toastmaster, intending Toastmaster Priye, is there anyone struggling to unmute? One more person? Okay, okay, okay. Since we have been given the opportunity, you have an opportunity to speak again during the topic section. I think I will just segue in and speak. I would first give some feedback to Emeka. For some reason, I can see Elise, you're moving towards your camera. Do you want to speak? Yes, don't gasp. It's fine. Toastmaster Ese said something similar. And she panicked when they said, who would speak next? Do you care to speak? Oh, I saw you retreat quietly. So let's segue on. First of all, for Emeka, I don't know. I think it's my village people, but I couldn't see you. I couldn't see your frame. I guess it might be maybe that you didn't turn on your video or something. Uh, that's the first thing I noticed. I couldn't see you, so that's why I didn't call you. Apologies for that. First, you gave really good feedback to her. You were specific about the things she liked, and you were very observant about how it seemed like she got her attention at the beginning, and then you segued to give her some relevant feedback. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for being brave enough to come to Lecton. As I said before, you have found your tribe. Welcome. Now for their Toastmaster essay. Oh my goodness. That was brilliant. Raise your hand if you've ever been in a situation where you say, don't call me, they did not call me. I wish that That was so relatable. That was a perfect way to start your speech. And why is it great to start your speech that way? It's great to start with something relatable so we all are drawn into your speech. And by we actively engaging, like raising our hands and you recognizing that we're doing that, it makes it more of a conversation, not just a monologue where you are ranting at people. That was brilliant. And before we could recover from that, you hit us with great humor. You made us start laughing. And what laughter does when a speaker uses it effectively, as you have done, is that it loosens up the audience. We get ready to receive anything. I mean, I have seen people who they will call names after infusing humor and they'll be laughing. You see, they're calling somebody names and he's laughing. Why? Because he's taking it, he's more receptive because you have used humor to oil the wheels of the cog. Thank you for doing that. That was intentional. I see that and I will say thank you. The third thing I would like to say, the third thing I would like to give about your speech would be a recommendation. I have just three, so I would quickly breeze through them. The first was where you talked about your icebreaker, where you were not ready to part with money at the beginning of joining Toastmasters, and we didn't see. I feel if you had infused more facial gestures to show your discontent or your being puzzled about adding money, putting money to where you didn't know, that would have greatly strengthened your speech. I also feel that when you had spoken out the first time you gave your icebreaker and the many rewrites, you could have shown that in your face that it was some form of discomfort to keep rewriting a speech over and over again. The next is what they call the friend in the lens. So while you were giving a very animated and engaging speech, I see you try to see feedback and get cues from the audience, which is great. But most times when speaking with a virtual audience, if you're not looking at the camera, it looks like you're talking to someone else. So you're looking at the people's faces. Like I'm looking down right now, it doesn't look at, I'm looking at Toastmaster Iveju's face. It's not looking as if I'm looking to the camera. Now I'm looking to the camera. So you might want to pay more attention to the camera than look at the responses. It's a fine line to strike a balance between those two. The last but not the least is you had a great speech, but most times when we infuse things like pauses, it gets people's attention. It helps strengthen things like our conclusion so people can engage better. After that, the other things I would like to recommend, or I would like to celebrate that you did, was that you added quotes so effortlessly. You talked about Aristotle's quote about excellence in such a way that it seemed like second nature. That was brilliant of you. Thank you for doing that. I loved your conclusion. It made us want to become Toastmasters. I am inspired, and I think all of us on the call are inspired. Thank you for meeting your project objectives. And now it's back to you, the Blightsome Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Right back at you, the Lightsome Table Topics Master for today. Please give him a resounding round of applause. A resounding round of applause. Thank you for taking this session so gracefully. Thank you so much. Yes, so I promised you that we were going to give you a 3-course meal today. You've taken 2 of them. The first one was the speech that was given. The second was the evaluation by our evaluator. The next session will then be the table topic session. Now, it is said that a beginner's mind, or as they call it, the Shoshin, means that a beginner's mind is one without preconception. And that is the way to approach the table topics session, where you let go of every preconception of whatever fear you may have about the topics that may be given to you. That way you can open up your mind and freely respond creatively and even authentically. So ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters and guests, one of the most interesting parts of a Toastmasters meeting is the table topic session, and it will be handled or taken by the table topics master, who is Toastmaster Oghoin-olem Oruene. She's an industrial hygienist, and she is of the Pecten Toastmasters Club fold. She is on the motivational strategies path. Her hobbies include volleyball and acquiring quirky things. Her favorite quote is, "Practice like you've never won, perform like you've never lost." Michael Jordan. I would say that is the Shoshin mindset. Please, ladies and gentlemen, with a resounding round of applause, welcome Toastmaster Olem to the virtual lectern.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. I'm back on the lectern, and my responsibility today as a topics master is to facilitate the table topics segment of today's meeting. Give me a second, and please confirm when you can see my screen. TMOD.
Yes, I can see your screen. Just Shoshin.
Fantastic. So, as the table topics master, it is my responsibility to facilitate this segment. Essentially, this is like the part of a Toastmasters meeting where guests are allowed to speak. As Toastmasters, we need to get better at speaking on our feet, or what we call impromptu speaking. So think about how you go for a friend's wedding or a social function, and somebody just calls you randomly and says, "Hey, bro, please, can you just come and give a toast?" And you're like, "Jesus, oh Jesus, what is this again?" This segment helps you get better at that, because the more table topics you do unprepared, the better you get at winging things when you get to these lovely social events. Now, for today's table topics, I have put together really very simple questions, because, I mean, most of us here are guests, right? Very simple questions. We just want you to share your thoughts around very simple things. I have decided to make today's event a casino one, to give you a casino feel. So we're going to spin the wheel in today's table topics segment. I would like for a Toastmaster, a seasoned Toastmaster, to volunteer, to start, and then the remaining four persons who will speak on this call will be guests. So, guests, please, people should not fall my hands, if I could say that. Don't disappoint me. Just take a random one. We go for a spin. Whatever question it falls on, I would reveal something behind, and you just tell us your thoughts around that. Remember, for table topics, you speak for a minimum of 1 minute, a maximum of 2 minutes. You've got a 30 seconds grace to wrap up. Okay, so who is going to go first? Any volunteer, Toastmaster? Please let me know. G, is there anyone whose hand is raised?
Just checking. Is any hand raised?
Are we serious?
Madam
Wow.
President, TM Toby.
Okay. Toastmaster Toby. Okay.
We
All
have
right.
people
So let's go.
too.
Is Femi a Toastmaster or is a guest? I think it's a guest.
The guests. And we
Yeah.
have Chris.
So, all right. So that's two guests for us. All right. Question number 9. Let's see the reveal. Toastmaster Toby, if you could go back in time, what is the one piece of advice you would give your younger self? If you could go back in time, what's the one piece of advice you would give your younger self? The lectern is yours.
Thank you very kindly, Toastmaster Olem. If I could go back in time, what is one piece of advice I would give to my younger self? It is very interesting that I had this conversation with a couple of friends right before the start of this meeting. And you can already tell that it's going to be a no-brainer. The singular piece of advice I would give to myself is to not limit myself by myself. And secondly, is to be humble enough to have a beginner's mindset. Too many experiences that I'm struggling to even decide which one to share. So in the context of not limiting myself, we all know about the concept of the imposter syndrome, where you feel like a fraud when you try to evaluate yourself with regards to a particular skill or talents that you possess, right? And when there's a question for someone to come forward to do something with regards to that skill, you take multiple steps backward because you feel you're not good enough. Secondly, in the context of having a beginner's mindset, it takes a lot of consciousness to embody humility, to not project pride when people are discussing certain subjects. Again, understanding that there are multiple perspectives to things would allow you, and humility would allow you to not berate people that come from a different perspective that are contrary to yours, and it will also allow you to be humble and to be open to ideas. And the result of that is learning and is growth. And these are things that will never ever depart from you, from your blithesome self. Thank you, and it's back to you, the table topics master.
Thank you. Please, a warm round of applause for Toastmaster Toby right there. And thank you so much for sharing that very vulnerable side of you. I love that you said the one thing would be that you would not limit yourself by yourself and you're humble enough to have a beginner's mindset. Thank you so much for volunteering to start this. And to no, intending Toastmaster guest Femi, I'm going to spin. Are you ready? Please, you can unmute and answer me.
Yes, I am ready.
Awesome. And we have 6. Was that what we stopped at the first time? Okay. Question 8. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received? What's the best piece of advice you've ever received? The lectern is yours, Femi.
Wow. Thank you, Toastmaster Olem. Wow, what is the best piece of advice I ever received? I think it was Femi. You think too much. It is not that hard. Because most times, as a young man, you are worried about things, how to, go about things, how you want to plan things. You are worried about the positive outcome. What of if you feel, what of if you encounter a lot of challenges? So most times you think and think and think and think. You worry about all those things instead of getting started. So you keep planning for a longer time instead of, okay, let's start from somewhere. Okay, Femi, start from somewhere. No, I have that issue. I won't start. Well, I will keep planning. I will keep thinking, okay, what if this happen? Okay, I will do this. What if this happen? I will do this. In which it affects me a lot. It affected me a lot. So I think there was a friend who just looked at me one day and I was like, Femi, you think too much. It is not that hard. Just get started. Start with something. Life is step by step. Most times you learn by doing. But I want to, like, have a perfect time. I want to make everything work well before, okay, like, yeah, I want to make everything work well, to so that before I can start. But one of my best piece of advice is like, don't, like, you think too much. It is not that hard. Thank you.
Please, a warm round of applause for guest Femi for taking a big show on that one. And what I liked particularly about what you had said was you remember that it was a friend, and he said, Femi, you think too much. It's not that hard. And you have told us and given us a call to action. Start something. Life is step by step. Just start something. Thank you so very much for sharing that with us. Do I have guest Chris available? If you are available, please unmute and answer me. Chris?
Yes, I am. Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon. Let's go for a spin then. Da 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 da. 1. Okay. What is your favorite childhood memory? What is your favorite childhood memory? The lectern is yours. If you're speaking, you're muted.
Oh, my sincerest apologies.
It's
And
okay.
very thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster, for them. And what is my favorite childhood memory? It's
Mm-hmm.
towards Christmas season. And the one particular memory that stood out for me, stands out for me, is, has to be Christmas season, many years, many years back. So I we had this guest that came around for Christmas. And one thing that's very common in my home there, growing up, is I think it's one culture that you see in Nigeria, most Nigerian homes. Christmas is in there. Those are outstanding dish that you don't see on an everyday. You definitely have it on Christmas Day. So we had a family member come from far, came from far, and obviously we had a lot of celebration, cooking in the house. But particularly, mm, she had this gift for me. She had this gift that even after the whole festive season, school resumed, I took it to school, and then I had lots of person, being friends with me, want to come around, want to see. It was just one unique. It came from outside the country, so she came. It was just like a very unique gift, and it's one thing that when you come to school, everyone know that they definitely will get to play with your toy or something. So still tomorrow, I think that particular memory still stands out for me. So yeah, thank you very much, Dr.
Thank you. A warm round of applause again for guest Chris and how he told us that his fondest childhood memory was when he got a unique gift from someone special and he took that gift to school and got admiration for it. Definitely something worth remembering from childhood. Thank you so much for sharing that story with us. And do I have another guest? Anyone? Any hands up?
I'll go.
Nice. What's your name, please?
My name is Emeka.
Ah, okay. So let's spin, 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 spin. Five. Emeka, if you could learn a skill, what would it be and why? If you could learn a skill, what would it be and why? Selected is yours.
All right. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Olem. If I could learn a skill today, it will be a tech skill in financial marketing. And why would that be? I've come to realize that we get to work and work so much in different fields. And in the end, what we want most times is money. And a lot of people will tell you, yes, I want fulfillment from a job. I want to become a medical doctor, an engineer because of the name of it or whatsoever that comes with it. But in the end, what we go back home with that really brings satisfaction is that we are able to live a life out of what we do. So if I have the opportunity to learn a skill today, I would go for a tech skill, financial tech skill that is going to give me the comfort of working perhaps from home, making money, traveling to wherever I want to, being a boss of my own, having that independence of not waking up early in the morning and running through the roads to get to the office and staying through the whole day. So I would really love to doing something that would have made me be more peaceful and be more in charge of my life and be more in charge of my activities. So learning a tech skill, particularly financially, a financial related tech skill would have been that skill. And I think that would have helped me to be everywhere I wanted to be, work from wherever I want to work, still make money, and still find fulfillment doing other things that I would love to do. Because in the end, working is not all there is to life. Charity is there, meeting out with people who are less privileged, just going out and seeing some nice and fun places would have just added to it. So I think learning a tech skill would have been what I would have chosen. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much for sharing, Emeka. And I like how you're quite intentional. It looks like something you're giving so much thought to. What I took out of that was where you were saying that you would love to do something that makes you earn at the same time you're able to let down. No, you're not a lady, so you can't let down your hair, but raise your feet, and do some other things outside of work. Really fantastic. And I think that that's really good. And I hope you chase it and achieve that someday soon. Thank you so very much. We have just one more to go. Do we see a guest? Any guests? One last spin.
Yes, Olem, you have 4 takers.
4?
3 actually. One of them has spoken.
So he
Okay.
says there's somebody else with him that would like to speak, but we also have
We're going to
Oluwafemi
take just
Idoku.
one. We're going to take just one. So someone do that and give me just one because we're behind time. One more and that's it. I'm sorry. I'm so
I
sorry.
think Johansson has had his hand up the longest.
Okay. Thank you, Zoom Master. All
You
right,
often is
Johansson. Johansson, are you there?
Yes, I am. Good evening.
Awesome stuff. Good evening. I think we've done a 6. 12. Johansson, what's something you've always wanted to try but haven't yet? What's something you've always wanted to try but haven't tried it yet? The lecture is yours.
Good evening, and thank you very much for having me. It's actually my first time today.
Yay!
What's something I've always wanted to try but haven't yet? Okay, I like the fact that there is a yet, because I feel when there is a yet, it means there is still hope that it's going to happen. Yes, so I I've always loved skydiving. I've loved heights, although I'm not someone who is tall. So I think an artificial height will help me. Yeah, so I always like skydiving, mountain climbing. So that's one thing I would want to try, although I haven't tried it yet, but I would try because um, in movies and then from my researches and all, it's something I just love. I just want to see the world from a different view. As I'm not tall physically, I feel when I get there, just see the world, enjoy the beautiful view. You've seen it in pictures. Sometimes you just want to see it in real. You just want to see how it looks like, not hearing stories or seeing pictures. So I feel there is a different feeling you get when you get to experience something by yourself, when you get to see it real, when you get to feel it if you can feel it. So skydiving, yes, that's one thing I would love to try. Thank you very much.
Woohoo! Now I see some intending Toastmasters, or it's just me seeing them. Thank you so much, guest Johansson. And I really loved how you went to town with that. Thanks for sharing that what you would love to do that you haven't done yet is skydiving and mountain climbing. I can tell you for a fact, the table topics evaluator actually does hiking. And there's some other Toastmasters on this call that actually do hiking for fun. So you can connect with them after the call or during the course of the meeting. You said we need to try to enjoy the beautiful view and experience it and feel it, not just in pictures. And that's why we would dare to dream and then dare to make the dream a reality. Thanks so much to everyone who has participated into these table topics. We had 5 of them. The first was from Toastmaster Toby, where she talked about giving advice to her young self, which will be to stay humble and not limit herself by herself. Guess Femi talked about the best advice he had received, which was, Femi, you think too much. It's not that hard. Guess Chris told us about that very unique gift he got during Christmas that he took to school and made him the center of attention. Guest Emeka talked about the one skill, which was going into financial tech, that he felt could just give him that life of freedom where he could earn and still enjoy himself. And finally, guest Johansson told us about not just seeing things in pictures, but making the extra effort to want to feel and experience it. Thank you so very much. It has been my delight facilitating this segment. And it's back to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Great stuff, great stuff. Please put your hands together for her. Love up on her, give her emojis, different kinds of, go in the chat box and light it up. Thank you, Toastmaster Olem, for facilitating this very vital segment. and for doing it with such a good, a huge smile. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I noticed while she was doing this that the chat box was buzzing. If you haven't sent a message in the chat box, or if you haven't read anything there, you are missing. And let me give you some statistics, all right? From the chat box, I found, doing some calculations, that even though we've had like 21 messages there so far, they have been sent by just 7 people. So if you haven't sent a message there, you should try it now. I'm sure if you read through, it's so hilarious and you would enjoy yourself. The next segment for today's meeting is the evaluation of the table topics. We've had them speak. We want to hear a seasoned Toastmaster give some thoughts about their speech, what they had said. And I would like to call on Toastmaster Elizabeth Atta. She is a solutions architect, and she is the Vice President Education of Uyo Premier Speakers Club. She's on the Strategic Relationships pathway, and her hobbies include hiking and swimming. Her favorite quote is, "Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving," by Albert Einstein. I almost said Toastmaster Albert Einstein. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the virtual lectern, Toastmaster Elizabeth Atta, as she takes the evaluation for the table topics.
Good evening, Toastmasters, and our highly esteemed guest. I should turn on my video. Yes, I just came out of sight. I look a mess. So please, I am begging, forgive me. Just smile at my profile picture that is smiling at you. Just imagine that that's how I look right now. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, TM Olem, for that very beautiful session. Now, everybody knows that one of my favorite sessions in a Toastmasters meeting is always the table topic session. Now, because it is a session that allows guests to come and feel at home, to come and experience what we experience at Toastmasters. And I'd like to say thank you so much for making it so easy for guests to participate. I saw how everybody was scrambling and raising up their hands to be a part of this session. That's what table topic is all about. That's what we expect table topic to be. That is the standard for table topic. And I'd like to say thank you to everyone that responded to this session. Like all the responses, I was struggling keeping up. Like I had to struggle to keep up with all the responses because everybody answered as if we were all Toastmasters. The first respondent, Toastmaster Tobiloba. If you could go back in time, what is the one piece of advice you will give to your younger self? And she started very excited because, of course, she said it's something she had thought about, recently. And she said she wants to be fearless. I'm paraphrasing. I'm not looking at my notes. I was driving and I didn't start writing at that time. But I loved how she was excited about that question and how she gave it her best. And for me, the call to action helped the other guests to know exactly what to do because she provided a standard answer to what a table topic answer should look like. And so every other person came and followed in that direction. The second respondent, Toastmaster or guest, Femi, sorry. See, I'm calling you a Toastmaster already. I'm so sorry. I know. Okay, no, sorry, because you're becoming that very soon. Femi, and his question was, hold on, what is your favorite childhood memory? What is your favorite childhood memory? No, that was not your question.
Best advice he's ever received.
Yes, best advice you've ever received. Yes, sorry about that. And it was, Femi, you think too much. It's not that hard. Yeah. And for a guest, you did so well. You infused your personal experience of how somebody told you not to take life too hard. And you even you used a quote that, says, most times you learn by doing. You even added a call to action to help us understand and then get, to the point of how you do not want to think too much. Now, the third respondent was asked the question, what's your favorite childhood memory? That's Toastmaster guest Chris. And he talked about the culture of guests coming over for Christmas. That's something all of us experience. That's something we all look forward to. And he talked about the gifts he got and how he took it to school and earned an admiration from everybody. However, I have a small recommendation for you. I think that when you were speaking, your voice was not very loud. And so I think most of us struggle to hear you. I struggle to hear you. So maybe when you want to speak again, when you're given an opportunity to speak, I think you should find a way to pitch your voice so that we don't struggle to hear you. That way, it shows confidence. Most times for me, even if I don't know what I'm saying, I want people to hear me because it's not easy to be a Toastmaster. Number 4 speaker, if you could learn a skill, what would it be and why? And he said he wants to learn a tech skill. I can relate with that because where we're going to now as a people, as a nation, with the current realities on ground, we want to earn more money and be able to focus on other things. And so I loved that response. And you talked about how it's going to give you more time to be dedicated to other things, to live a more peaceful life and find fulfillment in life, not just waking up every day and going to work. And then the last speaker, guest Johansson, his question was, what's something you have always wanted to try but haven't yet? And he talked about skydiving and hiking. I love the fact that you want to hike. I'm also a hiker. I love the fact that you want to skydive. That's something that every one of us we look forward to doing. Those of us that love adventure, I want to encourage you to find a way and get to do it. I loved how you kept talking about your height, how you're not tall. Trust me, when you're up there, you'll be taller than us. Thank you so much, the Table Topic Master, for always coming through and showing us how it's done. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, the table topics evaluator for today, Toastmaster Elizabeth. I have a feeling that you had to bend over backwards to be able to do this, but you've done it so well. You've done it blithesomely. There's a word like that. Thank you so very much. I would like us to do something really quickly. I checked the chat box anyways. You can go on the chat box and you see they're almost forming a hikers group, so you can find some information about how to join the hikers group in the chat box, just in case you like that. But I'm going to post right now the socials for Pecten Toastmasters Club. There's LinkedIn, there's LinkedIn where you have Pecten Toastmasters Club. There's Twitter where you have Pecten Club, at Pecten Club, and YouTube at Pecten Toastmasters. I would like you to right now go to LinkedIn, go on LinkedIn or go to YouTube and follow Pecten Toastmasters Club. And I'm really serious about that. At the end of this meeting, I'll ask how many people did that. Go to LinkedIn right now and follow Pecten Toastmasters Club. Just go there and hit the follow button, or go to YouTube and hit the subscribe button. I want to see, we have 48 people on the call, or 47 as it were, and I would like to see that there has been an increase in the number of people who have subscribed or followed Pecten Toastmasters Club on socials. There's also there that if you're enjoying this meeting, you can fill a form and you can see that it's been posted by Toastmaster Toby Loba. Toby Loba, yes. Go there, pick it up, and click the link and be able to give that feedback. One more thing before we get into the last part of this meeting, I would like anybody to look in the chat box and tell me the artist or group that sang the song that I put the lyrics for you to see. There are some lyrics there in the chat box. Can you tell me what artists, a group of artists, were the ones that did this? Oh, Abba, Eseoghene, fantastic. Abba by Ochuko. Are you sure? Is it Abba, or I don't know? Are you saying that the artist is from Abba or something? Is that a typo? Chai. Who is that person that said Chai? Who is that? That's Ochuko. No, we make. Okay, now what year? What year did they have this song made? What year was it published? What year? Okay. Oh, Ochuko said Chai. Someone beat him to it. Oh, that's so. I'm so sorry. I apologize on their behalf. Now, beat everybody to it. What year did they have the song? What year? No idea about the year, Ochuko. Okay. 2009. Oh, maybe that was the year you had it, but that was not the year it was released. Okay. Any other person? It was released in 1977. 1987, Mr. Gerald. Oh, you were close. You're just 10 years in the future, but it was in 1977. Our next segment is titled
Knowing Me, Knowing You. I see that a lot of people know this song. So I would like to call on, let me see, Toastmaster Gerald to sing this song that we have put the lyrics here. Just sing that chorus. I want to hear you, Toastmaster Gerald, and I'm sure many people are itching to listen to you. Just give us your vocals on that chorus. Come on, anybody? Well, no, not anybody. Toastmaster Gerald. Toastmaster Gerald, I want to hear you sing. I want to hear you. Toastmaster Gerald, can you hear me?
Yes,
Toastmaster.
I can.
All right. Can you give us the chorus? Just sing. You already have the lyrics. I can post it here again for you so that you don't make a mistake. You can give us this chorus.
Okay, I want to go to the message so that I'll get the lyrics.
Okay, but just sing it if you can remember.
Knowing me, knowing you. Let me please. Oh my God. Sorry.
Let's sing with him. Let's sing with him. Let's sing with him.
All right. Who is that? Who else wants to? Toastmaster Olem, I feel like you want to sing this song. All right, over to you, Toastmaster Olem.
Knowing me, knowing you. There is nothing we can do. Knowing me, knowing you. We can. I can't see the rest of the lyrics, so we can have a face to if we're true. Breaking up is never easy, I know, but I have to go. Knowing me, knowing you is the best I can do.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Olem. That was a sonorous voice. Thank you for singing. All right. So the next segment is called Knowing Me, Knowing You. You will be moved into breakout rooms and you're going to get a prize for doing something. Now, I'll tell you the rule. That rule is simple, that in that breakout room, I'll need you to know the names of people who are there and know one fun thing. When you come out of that room, we would ask you to tell us the names of the folks in your room, their full names, and one fun thing. The person who gets the highest number of names and gets the fun things that people have in that room would get a prize. Keep your fingers crossed for the kinds of prizes you're going to get. But Toastmaster Tosin is going to take you into a breakout room. And when we come out, we'll have a fantastic time listening to the people you now know. Knowing me, knowing you. Toastmaster Tosin, take us into our rooms.
So the prompt should be on the screen. Simply accept it and join your breakout room. Thank you.
Bye.
So if you're here and you can't hear anything, it's because everyone else has been assigned to a breakout room. So please look out for the prompt on your screen so that you can join your assigned breakout room as well. Thank you.
Okay, welcome back. The doors are open. Just keep coming back. If you can hear me, please. I can see that people are coming. Can you hear me? Can anyone confirm that you can hear me?
Yes, we
Loud
can,
and
but we
fantastic.
feel we
Yes,
feel
we
like we were
can.
yanked out of the room, though. We
We're
were still
yanked.
catching
Don't
up.
mind Toastmaster Toasting. That's his trademark. He just yanks
We
people
were still
out of
catching up.
rooms.
Come
You
on.
understand? I'll tell you a secret. In my room, someone was about to hand all of us $5,000 each. He was just about to hand it over, and Toastmaster Toasting pulled all of us back into this place. I'm never going to forgive you, Toastmaster Toasting.
I got my $5,000 before I left the room.
Before we left the room, right? Okay. All right. I would hand over to Toastmaster Toasting to take us through this networking session and then find who the best networker is. All right? Because there's a big prize for you. Toastmaster Toasting, this is your time.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. I heard all of you clamoring for more time. I was not in that room one. That is why I yanked you people out. If you wanted to share $5,000 without giving me my share, it's not possible. But since you were all clamoring for more time, let's find out how well you used the time that was actually allocated, the time you had. So the floor is open. Who would like to tell us, people they met? And this is the gig. Whoever is able to tell us about the most people gets to win this segment. It's that simple. So you're not just going to tell us, I can already see Toastmaster Samuel Adu's hand up. You're not just going to tell us you met Toastmaster Ese. I know the people you know, Toastmaster Samuel. So when you tell us people you met, you're going to give us facts about them, things you learned, or just any random thing you have to say that we did not know before. So Toastmaster Samuel, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you, Tosin. Good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are joining us from. Yes, for me, I want to win this award, and that is why I raised my hand. Well, now I met two beautiful ladies. I've not met them before, and I also met handsome three gentlemen in my room. Who are these ladies? Toastmaster Uche Ajay. And do you know that her name, she's also bearing Ayodele. Most people call her extrovert. In her own way, she believes that she's introvert. She likes taking her time to read, stay indoor, watching games, and watching movies. This is who she is. And we have another beautiful lady, Toastmaster Issy, and she didn't name her profile correctly. I was very inquisitive. I asked her, "Are you Uche?" She said, "No, I'm Issy." That means I know more about her. Another guest, not the Toastmaster maker, and she is the one that said it's going to sell Nigeria, and every one of us is going to get our portion of Nigeria. And my portion was 5,000 naira, and that 5,000 naira is happiness. And I want you to be happy, despite the situation of this country. Be happy. And the last person is our Toastmaster of the day, who created a lot of fun and energy in the room. And that's back to you, Toastmaster Tosin. I hope this week make sure that I get the award for today, and the award might be to go to Paris next week.
All right, Toastmaster Samuel, with four Toastmasters he met, or four people he met. So it's not like I'm rigging. Are we going to allow him tell us he met the TMOD in his breakout room without even telling us something special about the TMOD?
No.
All right. So the nays have it. So Toastmaster Samuel, you met three people. I can see Toastmaster Joe's hand up. Actually, guest Joe Johansson. You can unmute and tell us about the people you met. Johansson, if you're there.
Yeah, I'm here. Good evening. I'm just here laughing. Good evening. So I met three amazing persons, although we were sent out of the room when the last person had not even spoken. So I met Toastmaster Ekwuchi James, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, that's the name. Ekwuchi. And who knows Ekwuchi means God's wealth? Well, she told us. Yeah, and then I could say from her voice that she's a very blithesome person. Yeah. And she told us a secret. She told us a secret. When she's less busy at work, she mimics her colleagues at work. And that actually got the second person on our group laughing. He couldn't even control himself. And I'm talking about Mr. Miracle. Mr. Miracle was just laughing. He couldn't even hold it back. So yeah, and Mr. Miracle, I would say I didn't get to hear from him because we were locked out of the room. But then again, the third person was Mr. Charles Ikbe Asukwo. Yeah, and he happens to be my brother from Akwa Ibom. Mr. Charles is based both in Uyo and in Port Harcourt. He stays 2 weeks in Port Harcourt and moves to Uyo 2 weeks. So he moves interstate 2 weeks in, 2 weeks out. He's currently in Uyo, but will be going back to Port Harcourt next week. Yeah, he's from a very scary part in Akwa Ibom. He mentioned that very scary. Please note that very scary. Yeah, and then when he actually wanted to marry his wife, the family were so scared because of where he comes from. But later on, they found out that he is actually a nice person and a good guy. So they gave their daughter out to him with their full chest. So I think that's it. That's it from my end. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Johansson. So I can see you met Toastmaster Ekwuchi, you met Miracle, even though you didn't get to hear him speak, and then you met Toastmaster Charles Ikpeasoko. When you said the 3 names, I was tempted to give you 2 marks just for that person, because I mean, with all those names, you deserve an extra mark. So you met 3 people as well. I can see Toastmaster Reuben's hand up. Toastmaster Reuben.
How do I?
Amazing. Do you want to raise your hand, Miss Miracle? Okay, he doesn't. It was an amazing time in our room. We had the impressive DTM Chidi Chukudimadu in our room. That she counts for like 5 people because she's in so many clubs, as you know. And after that, we met intending Toastmaster Onyinye, who has joined the meeting twice and hasn't decided to come in, but she is still on the fence. We met also Shakira, who was just inducted, and she was really excited. And she shared with us nuggets of her journey and how she wants to become a better public speaker. And through that, she has stayed, and she used that to advise the other members of the call who weren't yet Toastmasters. We met Elizabeth Briggs, this is the second time she's coming for a Toastmasters meeting and is looking forward to joining. She said she had so much fun, a lot of fun. And the other person said she was thrilled by the meeting. That's Mr. Onyine. Then our counter was in the room. We were petrified that he will be counting our hours in the back room. Like, guys, what's happening here? We begged him. We kept pleading with him, please don't carry this to the main room. We are giving hours. We are supposed to be free. Please take it easy on us. So we met all of these people. It was a fun time in our room. I'll keep it short and sweet. Back to you, the Zoom Master and Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Reuben. You are currently leading the leaderboards with 4 people you met. Actually 5. Wow, pretty impressive. So all of you that were complaining that you do not have enough time, that's not an excuse. That will not fly today. I can see guest Gloria, and afterwards we'll take just one more in Aline Nucha. So Gloria, you can go first.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm a guest, Gloria, intending member. So in our room, we have 4 members, 4 people in our room. And the first person I met was Ochiko that hardly have time for herself. You know, she's very busy 247. I don't know whether she's more busy than our president currently. Then we have in our room too, we have James, our compassion, and he told us that he's a website developer. In his own free time, he likes coding. You know, he has some contracts and all that to give to give people to help people in coding and all that. And he likes to socialize, but an introvert. Then in our room also, we have our audible topic master in the name of Toastmaster Sullen. Yeah, our industrial hygienist that loves volleyball more than any other thing. And my humble self, Gloria, intending member, like I said before. And will I say I'm an introvert, trying to come out of my shell. That is why I found this club and I say, no, I have to be here and a member very soon. Thank you.
Thank you, future Toastmaster Gloria. You're already coming out of your shell, so kudos and well done. And you met 3 people, so we'll take note of that. And finally, Aline, Toastmaster or guest Aline, I'm not quite sure now, but you have the podium. Okay, guest.
This is guest Aline. In fact, I was in group 6 and something impressed me that a novel guest could be the head of my group. That is Toastmaster Linus, who joined almost around the same time with me, who started almost around the same time with me, but now he's a 2-year Toastmaster, and that's a tech guy. When I listened to Toastmaster Ace's speech, I said that it was impressive that in 5 years somebody had done that much. When I listened to Toastmaster Linus, I realized that he's even expediting his impact in Toastmaster. So I'm very impressed that young people can just join, and within a short time, they can become the perfect version of themselves in the Toastmaster. So what was striking in that our hall is actually that Toastmaster Linus and his teacher, that is his coach, were together, and at least I happened to listen to his speech the other time and the evaluation of the coach. Thank you, and this is the first time I'm speaking in this group. Bye.
Thank you,
Over to
Toastmaster.
you.
Future Toastmaster Aline. You're definitely going to join us very soon. Thank you. And I'm happy that you got to share the testimony you witnessed. Because if it was coming from one of us Toastmasters now, they'll say we are lying. But all of you can see there is evidence. No be true. There is evidence. All right. On that note, I will be passing across the leaderboard to the person who will be presenting the awards later on, so that people will not catch me somewhere and break my head. I'm not the one
Miracle's
giving the
hand is
awards,
up.
please.
Miracle's hand is up.
That was the final one. I'm sorry, just because
Too
we're
late.
running out of time.
Time,
Yes.
please.
So we'll have to move on. Mr. Miracle, don't worry, there'll be more time for guests to speak at the end of the meeting. So please just stay tight and you will speak soon. On that note, back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Tosin. You can't escape. When the leaderboard is eventually called, we know who gave the leaderboard to the person who's announcing. So guys, this is the person that you should chase down when it is time. All right, the next part of this meeting is a quiz. We're not done giving out prizes yet. So in case you didn't get the chance to win in the previous session, this is another one that you would enjoy, I can tell you, for free. But go back in the chat box. I can see that there are four new followers on X, and we're currently checking LinkedIn to see how many new followers we've had. Like I said, there would be, or there is, if you check the chat box, you would see our socials. Go there, follow us on LinkedIn, follow us on X, subscribe to our channel on YouTube, and I'm sure you would enjoy yourself. There's so much content that comes from Pecten Toastmasters. Now, it is the time for us to do the quiz, where you would also win a prize. Over to you, Toastmaster Olem.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Again, we're really short of time, so I'm going to keep this really simple. And the only way you can help me is to just log on to Menti, use that code, or use your phone to scan. So if you have a QR scanner, just use that to scan right there on the screen and join. We need to have like a quorum. So we're like 42 in the room. If I can see like 20 persons in the group, on the Menti, we are good to go. So go to www.menti.com and type in that code 1760779 or scan the QR. And let's do this because we want to. Oh, there's the prize. So the first 3 persons on the leaderboard. First goes with 15 gigabyte of data, any network you're using. Second goes with 10, and the third person goes with 5 gigabyte of data. So, I mean, if we know how it is right now, that data can do something for you. I want to compensate you for all the data you have used in today's meeting. So you see how things working. So let's have it. Let's have it. I see 7. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. I know network can be a bit crappy. Let's keep it coming. 8. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And the trick here is if you don't start early, it means that you're going to be down by some points because we're going to have fastest finger as well as answering the question correctly. So it's both things that will count. So if you're in early, you start all the questions early, you're more likely to lead the chase. Okay, so let's keep it coming. I see 14, 6 more, and I'm good to go. 15, let's have it, let's have it, let's have it. 5 more, 5 more. Okay, 16. Keep it coming, folks. www.menti.com. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the next screen. And I want to see how many we really have here. Oh, great. We've got 21 players. Are you ready? Question number 1. Fastest finger. When was Toastmasters International founded? I think we heard them say it here. The Toastmaster of the day gave us expo. Fastest finger. When was Toastmasters International founded? Let's go. Let's go. Mm, 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 mm. This is so exciting. Ooh, 7 people said 1956. Oh, wow. Okay. And let's see who is topping the leaderboard. Ruby, Kira, and Dr. Centipede. Fantastic. Okay. Next question, if you're ready. Are we ready? Ta-da-dan, ta-dam. What are the tiny pockets on your denim jeans called? Those really tiny pockets, you can look at the picture, the one highlighted in red. What are they called? Ah, they fell for it. They're actually called watch pockets. All right. And that was in an era in the 1960s where Levi designed denim primarily for those who were into manual stuff. So carpenters and welders and all those kind of things. The fabric was strong enough. And so they created this because in that time they were using these hand watches. So this makes it easy for you to just put your watch in there and not damage it while you're working. That's the thinking behind that. All right. So who's stopping the leaderboard? Ruby? Do I see a displacement? Ah, Ethmon and Umbriel. Okay. The next question is about penguins. Da 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 da. What are penguins? What are penguins? Mammals, amphibians, or birds? What are penguins? You got a picture there. If you think about penguins or Madagascar or something, what are penguins? Mammals, amphibians, or birds? This is going to be a tough race. Oh, yeah, let's be going. Let's be going. Let's be going. Ha ha! Ha ha! Oh my God. So penguins are actually birds. They lay eggs. Their baby penguins are called chicks, and they have feathers and not fours. So don't let that thing you see there deceive you. This was a trick question. All right, let's keep going. Who's on top of the board now? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Is there a displacement? Let's see. Ta-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ooh, Tosin is on top, and Kira is following. Ruby, you need to do something with the next question. Ah, da 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 da. Are we ready? The next question is about white chocolate. Why is this coming up now? Oh, sorry. Ah, don't tell me I didn't animate this. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. All right, there we are. White chocolate is real chocolate. Do you agree? I want to see what this would bring. Ah! Ooh, boom, shakalaka. All right. Ah, really smart people in the room, but this is almost like it was dragged. Okay, so technically, white chocolate isn't real chocolate. For a chocolate to be called chocolate, it has to have cocoa in it. But white chocolate has vanilla, some lecithin, and let me see. I think I wrote them down somewhere so I don't forget. Oh yeah, so it has sugar, milk, vanilla, and cocoa butter, not cocoa. And that's why it's not real chocolate in the chocolate industry. Okay, now you know that. And who is on top? Why is Toastmaster Toasting shaking his head? Did you say it was? Did you say that it was chocolate? All them Toblerone people. Ah, Kira, you're not even smiling. And final question. Are you ready? This is about Toastmasters. Okay. Ta-da-da, ta-da. Toastmasters spelled backwards is. Toastmasters spelled backwards is. If you get this one, fastest hand. Oton. Ah, awesome. That's always a trying one, spelling backwards. And that's it. So let's see who our top three are. And please, if you are amongst the top three, just leave me a private message via the Zoom chat so I can take your mobile number of your preferred network. Hmm. Please, ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters and guests, a warm round of applause for Kira. Who is that? Please unmute and say hi to us. Go easy.
Hello, it's Shakira.
Ah, nice, Shakira. Who is Ruby? Can we see you? Or Robbie? Please tell me
It's
Robbie is a
me.
guest.
It's me, sadly.
Ah. And Chikes, I'm assuming is Ochko. Who is Chikes?
Yes, it's me.
Ah, Toastmasters, if we came here, you're very angry. All right. Thank you so much to everyone who participated in the game. It was really, really nice having you do this. So, Kira, Robbie, and Chikes, leave me a personal message in the chat for the mobile line where you want your data. And it's back to you, TMOD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Olem, for that really interesting session and the quiz. We've given 4 people prizes today, and I think that is really fantastic. Our next session would be the final session of today's meeting, which would be the evaluation session, which is going to be anchored by our general evaluator. You heard him at the beginning of the meeting. Please, ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters and guests, please welcome Toastmaster Nameti Akpan. With a round of applause, please.
With a round of applause. Thank you so much. It's been like some meeting, and we will just move on with that energy. Please confirm that you can hear me. I'm not sure you can see me clearly, but let's just manage ourselves like that, please.
We can hear you and see
All
you
right.
as well.
We can
Thank you. Okay, thank you. So for our first evaluation report with me inviting the grammarian, I know she's on standby, Toastmaster Ese. Please tell us how we fared. Thank you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Hello, everyone. For the usage, okay, first for words and quotes I liked, guest Emeka used the word preamble, which means to start something. Toastmaster Reuben, is there anyone brave enough to bear the cat? And also he used the word segue, which means to transition. Toastmaster Olem, let down your hair, which is an expression to say be at ease. Guest Aline was my winner today with while plaiting my hair while finishing a pack of bonbon sweets. If you're in doubt, seek counsel before acting. Then she used 2 words I really liked, metamorphosis, which means to go through change, and expediting, which means to move things along fast. For our usage of the word of the day was blithesome. And Toastmaster Femi used it in the chat box once. Toastmaster Toby used the while speaking once. Toastmaster Reuben used the while speaking twice. DTM Chidi used the adverb form in the chat box by saying blithesomely. I thought that was well done. Guest Joe used it once, and our winner was Toastmaster Nameti, who used it 3 times. Thank you, and it's back to you, our general evaluator.
Thank you so much. At least I get to win something. It's blithesome. Thank you. So we'll now invite our counter, Toastmaster Christian. Please tell us how we fared with the crutches. Toastmaster Christian, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator, for bringing me back to the spotlight. Good evening, everyone. I love taking this accounting role because elimination of pause fillers is a Shoshin way to appear professional while speaking. Honestly, I admire Toastmaster Reuben, Uzor, and Toastmaster Toby when they spoke throughout the entire meeting with just only 1 R. Our blithesome Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Uche Anabaronye, sorry if I didn't pronounce the name correctly, had 5 R's, while our table topics evaluator, Toastmaster Elizabeth Atta had 6 R's, and our intending guest, Toastmaster Joe Asin, had 3 M's. You may consider working on that too. I also adore Toastmaster Olem's facilitation of the table topic section. I couldn't jot down anyhow during this segment. That was impressive and blithesome. Our guest had, during the table topic section, too, had a couple of our Toastmaster Olufemi Vincent's most popular crush word was "you know." He said it several times during his speech. So in the future, you may want to watch out using "you know" in between the sentences. I was also blown over the moon when Toastmaster Eseoghene delivered a blithesome speech devoid of false fillers. That's what I describe as practice makes perfection, and she's already at it. In all, it was a great meeting. I have totally enjoyed myself and I've learned so much. Now is the time to test our attentiveness. Who typed in the chat box the full name of the founder of Toastmaster? Who typed in the chat box the full name of the founder of Toastmaster, Ralph Christopher Smithy? Who typed
Toastmaster Christian Ekwuchi.
Thank you very much. And secondly, who said a beginner's mind is one without preconception? A beginner's mind is one without
Toastmaster Uche.
That's great. And lastly, which is the easiest, when was Toastmaster founded? Very simple.
1924.
Thank you very much. This shows we are listening and we should keep it up. And that is all for me. And back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Christian. I loved how you included those that typed in the chat box. Thank you so much. All right, so we'll now ask our very diligent timer to give us the timer's report. Timer, I know you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. For our table topic session, we generally did good. Guess Emeka, he went a bit above the 2 minutes mark by 23 seconds, but generally everyone kept to time. And for our prepared speech from our delectable Toastmaster essay, she did very well, but she went above it by 14 seconds. So she spent 7 minutes, 44 seconds on the speech. And for our evaluations, we didn't do so well. Toastmaster Reuben spent 3 minutes, 33 seconds. Toastmaster Elizabeth Atta went 25 seconds above, and the rest did very well. The rest kept within time. And it's back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ireji, for being so timely with your timing report. I love that. Thank you so much. Distinguished Toastmasters and guests, it is one of the guests on the call that said, I am a teacher. Each time I attend a Toastmasters meeting, I learn more. For me, I thought that was the best thing I could hear today. And I heard it during the networking session. Please allow me to give Pecten Toastmasters Club their flowers. If Grammy Awards were given for meetings, I think this would have been nominated. Please put your hands together for this club. Wonderful meeting. I'll summarize and then send some of the report later because you know how we do it. Feedback never gets exhausted. First of all, time consciousness. I was on the call very early and I saw about 7 people on the call, and that included the tag team, Toastmaster Ese, and the Zoom moderator, Toastmaster Tosin. That was beautiful. I love the camaraderie, the exchange of energy that Toastmaster Olem and every other person brought in the moment, and the music that started the meeting. I loved absolutely the opening remarks. It was spot on. But guess what I loved most about this meeting? The theme of the meeting. I thought that to sell an idea, you had to sell a new idea. You were trying to sell Toastmasters, but then you got up with something very powerful. Shoshin, a Chinese philosophy Now I know the secret of Pecten Toastmasters Club. You've always run this club with a beginner's mindset, and today you've revealed the secret to us. Thank you so much for making us realize that we can expand the horizons of the Toastmasters experience. I learned something new today from that theme, and I'm going back with it all through with my life. What else stood out for me? The quality of engagement with the audience and with the guest. Starting with the Toastmaster of the day, with the things he posted on the chat box. Speak. At every moment, there was engagement. At every moment, guests were brought in. I loved that. I loved that absolutely. And then the networking session, still to build that engagement. Today, I know that we can become marketers and sales people in Toastmasters because that's what you did. It was an open house event. And then you sold Toastmasters to us by bringing Toastmaster Ese to give us a speech, the only speech that didn't just sell Toastmasters, sold her, and then sold Pecten, and then sold everybody on the club. Thank you so much. And after doing that, you took us into the networking room, and then you allowed us to tell you about ourselves. For me, I think the greatest need of every human being is to be seen, to be heard, and to be felt. And that is the principle of marketing that you used in this open house event today. What else stood out for me? The quality of the designs, the visual appeals that come with the background. That was absolutely brilliant. And then when I looked at the invitation, I noticed that you had included very key elements that most clubs do not include in their flyers. And that is the contact of the key people in the club. I thought that was actually brilliant too. And then you use the color blue, which represents calm, and yellow. Toastmasters calls it happy yellow to represent the word BLITHESOME. I can tell you for free that everyone leaving this meeting is living with energy, positive energy. Evaluation sessions, Toastmaster Reuben. I loved how you involved the guest. It was beautiful. I loved your sense of humor. I loved how you were effortless. This is where I have one recommendation, and that would be to build upon the inclusion culture that this club has stood out for. Maybe I thought you could have asked guests who could not speak to type in the chat box. Sometimes we learn how to speak by writing. And I thought that with the short time we had, if they had typed into the chat box, we would have had more responses and more feedback for that powerful speech. Toastmaster Ese said, practice makes progress. Distinguished Toastmasters and guests, we have all heard of practice makes perfect. I don't know how many of us have heard of practice makes progress. Well, you see, that was a beginner's mindset brought into the picture with something new. And that is one of my greatest takeaways too. The Zoom master and the Zoom mastery of the meeting. Note how I used those words twice. You were spot on. The way you launched us into the breakout rooms and the way you launched us out, I must say, your mastery was out of this world. Yes, at the click of a button, we were in, at the click, we were out. I thought that was brilliant because we didn't have to wait. I love that. Well done. I don't know who knows how to do this better, but trust me, this is a superpower. The table topic session, quite engaging. Please allow me to commend Toastmaster Toby. Toastmaster Toby, each time you speak, I don't know, each time I come to this meeting, you speak. And then when you speak, I have to take something home from every time you speak. This is a feedback for you. That thing you said about not limiting ourselves struck a chord. I love Toastmaster Femi. I called you Toastmaster. Chris, Emeka, and Johansson. I don't know what we could do to remove that word guest, but trust me, from today, I think if this meeting was made for people, it was made for people like you. You spoke like Toastmasters already. I don't know what is keeping you, but just like Toastmaster Ese said, I mean, some of us had to wait for a while, but please remember that you have to follow the words the way Toastmaster says. After waiting for a while, convert everything into action and join so that you'll become like Toastmaster Ese. Another recommendation, just time, because we were so engaged, we didn't want to leave the breakout room. We were so engaged, we didn't want to leave the call. And I just feel that maybe if we could have taken out one aspect of the meeting to replace one other. I mean, it's not always easy, but I noticed how you reduce the speeches to one. I felt maybe we could have reduced some other aspect to make the guest experience, which was excellent, just come on more because people still wanted to speak. And that also is still a plus for you because you make us want to come to this meeting and make virtual meetings feel like physical meeting. On the whole, this meeting was brilliantly anchored by the Toastmaster of the day, and I loved how he did it. I don't want to go into the details, but I should pay you for an event someday, sir. You are effortless with that role. And then the tag team, well done. The evaluation, spot on. I want to end with a quote that I feel it resonates with the open house meeting today. In fact, it's like the greatest call to action for me. And that is a quote by guest Femi. It says, "You think too much. That is not just for us, that's for everybody. It is not hard to start something. Life is step by step." I know Toastmaster Linus will agree with that. Please start something. Just join Toastmasters today and join Pecten Club if you don't think again. Thank you, and back to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Shoshin, the beginner's mind. Shoshin is one of the guiding principles of one of the most successful companies in the whole world, Amazon. They take Shoshin and have transformed it into everyone thinking that the day or acting like the day is every day is day one. And it has made them so successful. They have become the best or the most successful companies in the world. I want to enjoin you, everyone who has attended today's meeting, to embrace Shoshin, to have a beginner's mindset and watch yourself excel and get even up to the galaxies. I want to wish you all a Shoshin-tastic, a Shoshin-credible and blithesome rest of the week. Thank you for having me, and thank you to all the role players. Over to you, Madam President, as you take us to the end of the meeting. Yeah, so I can't see Madam President, so maybe I'll just tell the General Evaluator, thank you so much for this.
Let me.
I will hand over to the DPE to also take us through. All right,
All right. Thank you so very much, everyone on the call. We've spent a lot of time, so I'm just going to keep the thanks to a general one. Thanks to all our role players, our guests. This meeting would not have been possible. Like, we had 42 persons on this call, 15 minutes into the call. I haven't seen that happen in any of our meetings, and that's really fantastic. I want to thank everybody who invited someone to this meeting because you've done them a favor, and I hope that what we've done today, they're willing to come back again and again. I wanted to thank every other person, a Toastmaster, whether you're a Pectenite or from a different club. We want to say a very big thank you for staying with us up until this time. If you haven't filled the form and you're a guest and you want us to keep in touch with you or keep abreast, please just check in the chat and use the link and fill it. I'm sure Toastmaster Toby just reposted again. With that said, we have just two announcements. If you're a Toastmaster, we're having a Basecamp tour on the 16th. That's 2 Saturdays from now. And that tour is supposed to get us to get conversant with the new Toastmasters platform. So if you're an old person and you want to have a refresher, or you're a new member and you just don't understand how to navigate Basecamp, that meeting is for you. It's on Saturday and it's 11 a.m., 16th of November. Our next meeting is November 19th and is an icebreaker speakathon. So we just inducted new members and there are 3 of them, and we've got like 4 icebreakers coming through because we want to see them come on the lectern and do what Toastmasters do even better. So at this point, I would say thank you once again. And if you're a guest on this call and you have any question at all, this will be a great time to ask that question. Or if you have feedback to give to us, you can kindly unmute and give us the feedback. We're just going to leave a minute open based on those willing and available to speak. After that, we could move on to something else. So guests on the call, please, we would like your feedback, or if you have any questions. You can leave the feedback in the chat. You can ask the question as well in the chat. Anyone that works for you, it's will be appreciated. So this is me assuming that the breakout room had done some justice to this, and that you're clear. And of course, you would have seen a feedback form, and you will still see a feedback form when you log off this meeting. Please, please, we plead with you to make sure you just try and give us your feedback. It helps us grow and get better at the things that we do. Thank you so very much. And we will just have the last thing on our agenda, which is the tongue twister. I mean, one person can go at it, and that will be a wrap for today. So our tongue twister for today is a proper copper coffee pot. But you're expected to say this 3 times and in quick succession. A proper copper coffee pot. Anybody willing to go? Shakira, you have the floor.
All right. So a proper copper coffee pot, a proper copper coffee pot, a proper copper coffee pot.
Nice, nice, nice. So we use tongue twisters to help us with our pronunciations and just basically that. So if you're not able to do so in this meeting again because of time, just take note of this and you could put it on your WhatsApp status or something and get your friends to try it. It's very fun. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you once again. It's been my delight hosting this meeting as the Vice President Education of the club. And I just want to thank everybody who contributed here, including the ESCOs of the club. Thank you so very much. Our guest, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmaster Chidi. Thank you. I didn't see you and then I saw you. And I just want to say thank you for joining us as well. Thanks, everyone, evaluators, role players. I can't thank you enough. We draw the curtain here and see you on the 19th or on the 16th, as the case may be. Bye, everyone. And you can, of course, stay back if you want to chat or something. Or we're officially done with the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.